people on the street. We've seen a couple of storm chasers, and that is the good news, because Miami Beach police and fire say they cannot rescue people. If you try to come out here, if you have not evacuated, if you have not heeded the mandatory evacuation order, you are on your own. They did try to help people throughout the evening, but eventually they simply had to stop. What we are seeing as far as a storm surge, nothing. And that's very, very good news for this city, because the concern was that there would be a 5-foot storm surge. But so far, that has not arrived. A big concern here is flooding. But right now, what we're mainly dealing with are these winds. Entire trees are being completely bent over. We're seeing street signs fall over. And then intermittently, it becomes very difficult to stand. And certainly, it is absolutely unsafe to be on these roads if you're driving. So at some point they were concerned about people trying to come back here to Miami Beach. Do not be out today if you can. Chris.
Kyung, I'll take it. Thank you very much. Stay safe. We are in Naples, Florida, and this is a good demonstration between the radar and the real. Do you see the map on your screen right now? That big red ball in the middle is obviously the eye and the most intense winds. Now, if you look above it, the top part and to the left, you'll start seeing these red flashes. This is what happens with those red flashes. We're getting gusts here well in excess of 60 miles an hour or so, and just big bands of rain punishing this area. And this is that West Coast dilemma, which is you have an already very low-lying area that can't take much water, but as we were being shown by the meteorologist, Allison Chinchar, that the storm surge is going to come back with a vengeance on that Gulf side. Right now, you're seeing it on the east coast of Florida, and we're actually seeing the water start to withdraw on the western side. Why? Well, that's energy absorption, right? The hurricane moves counterclockwise. It's going to take energy from one side, distribute it to the other. That's going to reverse as it comes through this area. And the flood potential of the storm surge here is the main fear. And the reason for that is the wind gets the headlines. The wind is the spectacle. The wind gives you the miles an hour. But it is the water that wins. It is the water that is deadly. The #1 cause of death in a hurricane is water. Okay, so we're getting a little bit of a glimpse into the future here. We still ain't seen nothing yet on the west coast of Florida. Where they are getting hammered is Key West. That's where this storm made landfall in Key Largo, the key closest to Florida. That's where Bill Weir is. He has been chronicling what the people down there are about and their rugged individualism. He saw some horrible storm conditions this morning, and now at least he's able to have his jacket off. That's a good sign. Bill, what's it like now? I see some sunshine behind you.
Well, no, I gave up on the parka. It didn't matter. It might as well be a little more breezy out here. But we moved over to the other side of our shelter carport here. We're looking at the bay side of Key Largo up at the top of the Keys. But I'm reading these reports. The Miami Herald just reported that everything in Key West is underwater. Quote, everything. There are reports out of the shelters in Marathon Key, where one man died of natural causes overnight in that shelter. They're running low on food, having to raid the cafeteria of the school that they're sheltered in there. We're getting admonitions from the authorities, Monroe County, reminding people not to run your generator inside because the power is out for this entire archipelago. Common sense things. If it seems like the storm has ended, it probably means the eye is over you. Stay inside, because they could get squirrely in a heartbeat now. But I'm just trying to imagine where we did our final Friday night live shot as the exodus was starting to trickle down north on US 1. There was this improvised car lot at Cudjoe Key where people parked their cars as they left or as they tried to shelter on what is a mountaintop in the Keys, 16, 17 feet above sea level, right next to the bridge. That is exactly where Irma came ashore. No telling what became of those vehicles, and hopefully nobody was riding it out in that area there. We've been talking to our sailor friends here on Key Largo. Aside from some tiki huts blowing around, some plywood blowing around, they're all safe. Their boats are still moored for the most part. Oh, I did see some pictures out of some boats down in Key West that are just broken and sinking. So as this thing winds down, Chris, we're going to be able to venture out and really get an assessment of the damage. And since this is the strong
circle, but that doesn't correlate directly with wind. So we get hit by a lot of rain, very powerful wind, then the eye will come over, and the southern semicircle will come over, be pretty dry, but very windy. So you can still have a lot of wind without rain. Circle, but that doesn't correlate directly with wind. So we do expect you're going to get hit by a lot of rain, very powerful wind, then the eye will come over, it'll be calm and dry. And then the southern semicircle will come over, it'll be pretty dry, but very windy. So you can still have a lot of wind without rain. Circle, but that doesn't correlate directly with wind. So we do expect you're going to get hit by a lot of rain, very powerful wind, then the eye will come over, it'll be calm and dry. And then the southern semicircle will come over, it'll be pretty dry, but very windy. So you can still have a lot of wind without rain.